Welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo, episode 11. So, you may remember of course in the previous episode we notably completed our first of 8 tracks in arcade mode for this game, and that track of course was notably High Speed Ring. Well, now of course we are going to move on to our second circuit in arcade mode, and that circuit is Trial Mountain. And so we are officially going to be doing these pretty much from C to A, or in other words, slowest to fastest, I should say, or quickest, whichever way you want to put it. So I'm going to use the Civic, also use it in blue, and we are now going to our second circuit of the arcade mode, Trial Mountain. And will I be successful on my first attempt? Probably not. But in the meantime, we shall wait and see. Maybe we will be, maybe we won't be. I don't know for sure. We will just have to wait and see. As I'm switching to analog mode, just so I know that the sticks are working, and also just so I don't have to blister my fingers by button mashing. And already off to a good start, as I of course am already up 2 positions behind what looks like a Toyota Starlet before a Mitsubishi FTO, and there was contact. There was definitely contact there. At least before the first tunnel anyway. As I am now... sorry, the second tunnel. Still, I will admit, that is a nice jump, if I'm being completely honest. I do actually like that jump. And I am definitely relieved that the extended curb is there just off the exit of that final hairpin turn. Or at least I think it's a hairpin. So I don't lose too much acceleration, and I still end up losing the acceleration anyway because I touched the grass. As we are going well at the moment, currently holding on to the lead, unless I touch the wall. And that FTO is definitely eating up my ass. He is definitely eating up my ass. As these AI are definitely close to one another. And across the line, it is victory in the C-Class in my first attempt. Also because essentially these cars are the easiest to handle. So now we are going to have a look at who we were up against. So, my first race record set here at Trial Mountain, and we of course are going to check through the grid. So we had a Mitsubishi FTO GR, a Toyota Starlet Glanza V, a Toyota AE86 Trueno GT Apex, a Nissan Silvia S13 Fuse from 1988, a 1992 Mazda Unos Roadster S Special, which I'm assuming is what the ST is short for, and then there was me, in the Civic. So just go into save a replay. And also, I should probably mention, this isn't my first attempt of recording this, which is precisely why those other two replays were there. And hopefully this time, I will remember to do everything correctly. Since unfortunately, in my previous attempt, I was unable to do that. But, one down, two to go, obviously going for hard mode, and of course I'm just going to stick to my original plan, as the next car I'm going to use is the Integra. And the reason why I'm using the Integra is essentially because I already have a Pro Ute. So, let's go to race 2. Here at Trial Mountain in arcade mode. Shit. And switching back to analog mode, just so I know that my sticks are working, because FYI, the game modes in this game just keep changing me back to digital, which is essentially why I have to keep switching over to analog mode, because oddly enough, I do actually find it easier to use the analog sticks than I do. Oh shit! I completely fucked up there. I was clearly not paying attention to where the road was. And that was an appalling start as I went through the first tunnel. And already I am starting to collide with the other drivers. Which I am essentially pushing hard, and already the Supra has gone into the grass, also essentially into the mountain, and already getting a push from the 180. As I managed to overtake, as I think is probably the Sora. I think it's probably a Toyota Sora I just overtook there, but I will have to tell myself to check through the grid just to be sure of knowing who was at the front at the time. But essentially overall, I would say Trial Mountain, in terms of car choices, this is definitely proving to be less of a struggle than High Speed Ring was. And I touched the grass. Why I touched the grass is because, well, I'm an idiot. And holy shit, he is right on my ass. I narrowly missed the catch fence. And it was also good enough for me to clinch the victory in B class here at Trimount. And oh, okay, it was the Cosmo I went up against. Okay, the Cosmo that I was up against. He was leading for pretty much just over half of this race. Essentially before I took over. So checking through the grid. So we were up against a Mazda Cosmo 20B Type E, a Toyota Supra SCR from 95, a Nissan 180SX Type X, a 94 Mitsubishi FTO GPX, a Subaru and a Subaru Alcyon SVX version L. And of course, there was also me, in the black Integra. Two down, one to go, here at Trial Mountain, and that of course is the A-Class race. And will I succeed on my first attempt? Probably not. But we shall wait and see. It is now time for the third and final race here at Trial Mountain, as the only car we can use here is this, the Honda NSX Type S. And well, I don't think I've actually used a car in piss yet. And to anyone asking what piss is, it's basically yellow. So yeah, sure, why the fuck not? I mean, I don't think I've officially used a car in piss yellow yet, or it might just be yellow, but yeah, you know what I mean. It is now time for the third and final race here at Trial Mountain in arcade mode, the A-Class race. And will I succeed on my first attempt? Probably not. Unless I can avoid crashing. Which of course, with A-Class cars, is almost impossible, considering the acceleration they usually get. But hopefully the handling will assist me in officially getting to victory lane. Also because essentially I don't think I've officially used an NSX in this game yet. So this is actually the first time I'm notably using an NSX in this game. And already I'm off to a perfect start. Well, at least it was going all good before I touched the wall. As we now head through the third tunnel, trying to keep this car straight, try not to maneuver around too much. And oh shit! I definitely got tapped from behind on the braking entry, which essentially is how I almost lost the rear end. For this car, but somehow managing to stay under control and also hold on to the lead without going into the fence, which I would assume is essentially holding the bridge up, because it must be said, at least with the early games anyway, I would say a lot of the bridges in this game are quite low, at least in the early games anyway. As we now head through the second tunnel and the third tunnel, going down the straightaway into the hairpin. Then we have a sequence of corners before the next hairpin, as that did not go the way I wanted it to, but somehow still managing to stay under control and also hold on to the lead, essentially. And it looks like it is going to be 3 in a row for me at Trial Mountain, because essentially overall I managed to achieve all of these wins on my first attempt. So we are now going to run through the grid order. So this of course was the grid order for that race, as we had a Subaru Impreza Sedan STI 3, a Mazda RX-7 FD Type RB, a Mitsubishi GTO Twin Turbo, a Toyota Celica GT4, and also a Nissan Fairlady Z 2x2 Turbo, also known as the 300ZX if you live in America. And obviously at the bottom there was me in my piss yellow Honda NSX, as I have already saved a replay, and that of course was Trial Mountain in arcade mode. And as a result of completing all 3 races, or winning all 3 races I should say, we have now unlocked our 6th track in arcade mode, Deep Forest. 2 down, 6 to go. Next up is Grand Valley East. Can we succeed in winning all 3 classes on our first attempt? You will just have to wait and find out. But until then, stay tuned for more GT1.